Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a look at a couple action figures made by Mego, and they are from Star Trek. We have Dr. McCoy and Scotty, and these two figures are brand new. They've come out within like the past month or so, and they were highly anticipated because they've been a long wait to get these two figures, these two characters in the line. We had a lot of versions of Kirk and Spock. We had Uhura, we had Chekhov, we had Sulu, but no Dr. McCoy and Scotty until now. So very excited to have these in my collection, and should be noted that these two head sculpts are brand new. These are not based on the vintage versions. And also the accessories on these are the black and silver phaser, tricorder, and communicator. And there are versions out there that have the more traditional blue versions. So I don't have those, but I have blue accessories that I could swap these out with if I wanted to. So let's take a look at these up close. These brand new head sculpts are pretty interesting. As you can see, we got a brand new head sculpt on Scotty, and it really does kind of capture the look of James Doohan. So when he was young, when he was playing the role, and I'm really digging this brand new head sculpt. Much more detailed than the vintage version, so I would say this is a vast improvement over the original. The packaging itself includes the picture of Captain Kirk up in the corner, like all the original series figures. I'm hoping they'll make a change and do individual characters at some point, but for now, all these packages have Captain Kirk in the corner. And then on the back, we got a nice big picture of Mr. Scott. He's on the bridge of the Enterprise, and that looks fantastic. We get the standard write-up about Marty Abrams, and credit given to consultant, sculptor, and seamstress, which is standard on all Mego packaging. Digging the big pictures that they're doing on the Star Trek figures now. I think this is pretty exciting. Loving having a big picture of Mr. Scott. So that figure looks amazing. And we're going to take a look at Dr. McCoy. And I know there's been a lot of jokes, a lot of comments about the paleness of him. And he is very pale, but I got to tell you, the head sculpt on this looks amazing. It really does look a lot like DeForest Kelley. Not to say that the vintage version doesn't also, but I like the detailing on this in particular. Also note that he's wearing his medical scrubs with the short sleeves, which makes it different from the vintage version. So, and on the back of the package, we got a big picture of Dr. McCoy. So that looks great. So right now I'm going to bring in my sort of more traditional vintage version of McCoy for a comparison. And as you can see, drastic difference in the skin tone, and obviously the sculpt on the head is quite different too. This is more traditional vintage. This is not a completely vintage figure. It has replacement parts, more modern parts. So, but you could say this is sort of like the version of McCoy when his patient dies and he has to tell Jim, he's dead, Jim. And then this is sort of the more happy-go-lucky version of McCoy, maybe when he's on shore leave and he's getting a tan. So you can make all the jokes you want about it. Hopefully at some point down the line, we will get a more reasonable skin tone on McCoy. But as long as I have McCoy here, let's quickly go over articulation. So on the head, we get movement like this, just a single joint back and forth. At the shoulder, he can extend outward, and you get rotation like this, so almost like a ball joint. At the elbow, you get a single joint. At the wrist, you get this kind of articulation and also a pivot. At the waist, we get side to side, we get front and back, and a swivel. At the hip, he can kick outward, he can kick forward, he can kick backward, and we get a single joint at the knee. There's also a little bit of thigh movement like this. So you can position the feet that way, but there is no articulation at the ankle. So just take note of that, because these are the molded Star Trek boots on this figure. That's pretty much all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Your support is much appreciated. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing to the channel, because I will be reviewing other Mego figures in the future. Until then, I hope you're having a great day, and live long and prosper. Thanks for watching.